Ay, swale, miet sa kwahuilam, pelikula Tolskui, Zalitzo kwa Katie. Good day, everybody, and welcome. My name is Len Pierre. My ancestral name is Pelikulak, and I'm Coast Salish from Katzie First Nation on my father's side and Musqueam First Nation on my mother's side. I just want to begin by saying Hi Tsepka. Thank you all so much for registering for our upcoming Introduction to Katzie First Nation History, Culture, and People. We are now just 2 days away from our live event. I'm so excited, we have over 140 participants who will be joining us at the Swanisat Longhouse on April 11th, 2025. This is probably our seventh installment of Katzie opening its doors to host an immersive, culturally immersive learning day with people who reside within the Katzie traditional territory or who work directly in collaboration or partnership with Katzie. And with over 140 participants, this is our biggest event yet. So the intention of this welcome video is really meant to be a very short and sweet what to expect in just 2 days time. For many of you, this will be your first time visiting Katzie First Nation, and for many of you, this will be your first time going to a longhouse. So I wanted to give everybody just a little bit of a what to expect welcome message so you know what you're walking into on April 11th. So I did want to mention that the Longhouse has a very weird parking situation. When you find yourself driving using your GPS to the Longhouse in the address provided in Eventbrite, it will take you down a very bumpy dirt road, and there is no organized parking lot or parking system. We're going to try to have one of our community members out there assisting with the startup of parking, just so that there's some flow towards it. Essentially, what we're looking for is for all of us as adults to be able to find our own parking in a way that makes sense for everybody who is attending. So you will find that you might have parking overflow going into the residential area of Katzie. That's totally okay, so long as you're not blocking anybody in. That being said, if you can carpool with friends or colleagues of yours, highly recommend you carpool because having 140 cars, trucks, and vans all in one space will take up more parking space. So that's just a heads up on the parking. I'm going to share my screen here because we do have in our business growth and development, we actually do have a sign that is there to assist you in pointing you in the right direction as well. So as you're just before the community, we will have this event signage there and available for you. Whoops, sorry, how did I do that? Okay, now I lost my video. All right. So this will be available for you so that you can find your way. The inside of the longhouse itself, I don't know if anybody has had a chance to be inside the Swanisat Longhouse. It has a rather large capacity. I would say up to about 200 participants. You'll notice in the back of this image that there is bleacher style seating. And in this corner here, you see a very large closed in fireplace. So, depending on the time of your arrival, there will be a fire going in the longhouse to warm people up. And sometimes it can get a little bit smoky. So, a heads up for people that are scent sensitive or have asthma or allergies towards smoke. It is important to know that you can anticipate a little bit of smoke. It won't be too smoky, but you will leave the longhouse smelling like you've been sitting around a campfire for that day. If you are sensitive towards smoke, I would invite you to sit closer towards the main entrance towards the building so that if you need to step outside to catch a breath of fresh air or step outside to cough, then that is available to you as well. Um, because you'll be sitting in bleachers, we do recommend that everybody bring a blanket or a cushion to sit on. Sitting on these wooden bleachers for hours at a time can get a little bit uncomfortable for your back or your buttocks. So we encourage folks to bring blankets as well. Our team will be there with extra blankets for people that have ran out of time or accidentally forgot to bring a blanket or a cushion to sit on. Now, we do encourage folks to dress comfortably, casually for the weather that we are expecting on Friday. The weather is showing to be cloudy with some overcast. It'll be a little bit chilly in the morning, 5 degrees in the morning and 15 degrees. So it will warm up for this time of year in the afternoon. So I encourage you to dress comfortably, bring some running shoes or whatever is comfortable footwear for you. We will be going on a walk later on in the afternoon, so you get a tour of the Katzie First Nation community and get to immerse yourself in storytelling by the Fraser River. So dress casual, dress comfortable. Please do not come in your hospital uniforms, your scrubs, or your business suits. Do dress casual. I would say dress as you would normally on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. What else do I have here? We will be feeding you. So we have coffee, tea, water, and morning refreshments in the morning, as well as a catered salmon lunch by Peepom Catering in the afternoon. Because we had this open towards the public and our largest event yet, our team has not had the time or the capacity to accept dietary restrictions. If you have experience working with Peepom Catering, they are incredibly good at labeling the foods of theirs that are vegetarian, gluten-free, or ketogenic. So those might be some limited options for the meals that we will be providing. If you have stronger dietary restrictions, we do encourage you humbly to consider bringing in some snacks or some meals if you have more severe or strict dietary needs. And lastly, I think I just want to say is that this has come back in our evaluations in previous times we have hosted the session in the Longhouse. We know and honor and recognize that sitting for long periods of time in wooden bleachers can be uncomfortable for some folks. Now, this is a very intentional part of immersing ourselves in a Longhouse setting. We as Katzie people, many of us have grown up in the Longhouse, and we can attend ceremonies for days, days worth of ceremonies and gatherings and celebrations. And sitting in the Longhouse for long periods of time is a part of our culture. We come from this place of what I like to call disciplined listening and the practice of being still and present when teachings are being brought out on the floor. We know and recognize that that is not very customary to the corporate world or the Western professional world we often find ourselves in, with more comfortable sitting, office swivel chairs, and wellness breaks that are strategically placed within a long training day. So we wanted to balance out the best of both worlds here. Our team has it in our heart to equip you with as much culture and teachings as possible, with giving you ample time to stand and stretch and walk and take care of yourselves. But I do want to encourage you to come back to this place of disciplined presence and disciplined listening when teachings and stories are being brought out onto the floor. And we know and recognize it can sometimes be comfortable to sit for those long periods of time, which is why I have provided an agenda ahead of time so you can anticipate when the wellness breaks and the lunch breaks are. To find access to the agenda for the day, as well as Longhouse protocols, if this is your first time visiting protocol, I have included those as attachments right under this video. Thank you so much. Hopefully that was short and sweet and helpful to get a sense of what to expect on Friday. I will be joined with my pops, Richard Pierre, Elder and Cultural Advisor at Len Pierre Consulting, as well as Melissa Smith, an Associate Consultant, my partner in Love and Life, and our Nation Relations and Community Engagement Specialist, as well as a friend and colleague of ours, Stacy Musuman Roth, who will also be there to help guide our program on the day of. So with that, we look very much forward to seeing you all on April 11th for our introduction to Katzie history, culture, and people. Thank you all. Have a great day. We'll see you on Friday.